Hello everyone, welcome back to another end-to-end hockey trade update video. We have three more smaller, interesting trades to talk about here that happened yesterday on trade deadline day. These are three very interesting deals. We'll touch on the Corey Perry, Elmer Soderblom, and Aiden Thompson trades coming up right now. Hello everyone, welcome back to another end-to-end hockey trade update video. Once again, if you haven't already, leave a subscribe down below. We're trying to hit 650 in the next couple of weeks, so if you can, leave a subscribe. It really does help with the channel. And also, if you haven't already, check out my live stream on my YouTube channel. It's under the live tab I did yesterday, talking about all the trades that happened on trade deadline day. If you want my raw reaction to all these trades, go over there, you'll see it. But in today's video, we have another trade update video. So in this video, we're talking about three interesting trades, one between Tampa and Los Angeles, one between Detroit and Pittsburgh, and one between Chicago and the New York Rangers. So we'll start with the one between the LA Kings and the Tampa Bay Lightning. It was interesting. The LA Kings traded Corey Perry with 50% of his contract retained, bumping his $2 million cap hit down to a $1 million cap hit to the Tampa Bay Lightning in exchange for a 2028 second round pick. So from the Kings side, this is a very interesting deal. Perry was at some points just a day or two earlier being talked about as potentially signing an extension in Los Angeles, but it seems like the extension talks didn't go anywhere. The Kings got a really good offer for him, so they brought it to Perry, and Perry said he would okay to waive it. So he's going back to Tampa. He was a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning back in the 2022 season when the Bolts lost in the Stanley Cup final to the Colorado Avalanche, and Corey Perry's been to 5 straight Stanley Cup finals with the losing team. So does this mean that Tampa's finally going to get over the hump and make it to the Stanley Cup final only to lose again? We shall wait and see. At some point, I think Perry does have to be eliminated in the earlier rounds. So we shall wait and see what happens there. But Perry, who knows what it takes to win in Tampa Bay, it's going to be a very hard to play against bottom 6 forward in those playoffs, whether that's against Buffalo or Montreal or Detroit. That's going to be a very, very good ad there for Tampa Bay. He's 40 years old. He's a right winger, so not sure how many more seasons he has after this year. But he is still being a very productive player. Earlier this year with the LA Kings, he had 11 goals and 28 points in 50 games as a 40-year-old. That is insane. So Bolts are getting a player here who can help in their bottom 6, point up some points, be a really solid pest to play against in the playoffs. So all in all, not a bad pickup here for Tampa, reuniting with Corey Perry. For the Kings, it didn't sound like they were going to be able to get a contract extension in place, and they got an offer they really couldn't refuse. A second-round pick for 40-year-old Corey Perry, who's in the final year of his deal. Yeah, I'd take that deal too. That's a steal of a deal for the LA Kings. Well, I do think Perry's going to fit really well in Tampa. I do think Los Angeles wins this deal. So they add another second-round pick a day after adding a second-round pick in the Warren Foegele deal. So all in all, a pretty solid deal there for Los Angeles. And although Perry had been helping them pretty dang well in the bottom 6, they saw an opportunity to stockpile some draft picks. And I like this move here from the LA Kings. So very interesting note there. And even though it does hurt their chances for making the playoffs this year, it does help them in the next couple of years with their draft capital. So very interesting note there. But I do think Los Angeles wins this deal. The next trade I want to talk about here is between the Detroit Red Wings and the Pittsburgh Penguins, as Kyle Dubas has done it again. He acquires Elmer Soderblom from the Detroit Red Wings in exchange for the San Jose Sharks 2026 third-round pick. This is a really good pickup here for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Soderblom is 24 years old. He's a left winger in the first year of a 2-year deal, only making 1.125 AAV, and at the end of the deal, he will be a RFA. Soderblom this year had 2 goals and 3 points in 39 games at the NHL level, which is just only his 3rd stint at the NHL level, and he's already played the most games out of any other year in the past at the NHL level, so he's having himself a pretty decent season. Not as productive as last year when he had 11 points in 26 games, but still, he's having a pretty decent season. He's a behemoth of a player up front. He's 6'8", so he's very hard to play against. I think his ceiling will be like a maybe 10 to 15 goal scorer, maybe like a guy who can put up 30 to 35 points on like the 3rd line. So this is once again sort of like Igor Chinnikov, a really solid move here from the Penguins to get a younger sort of player to help round out their team and be able to move forward with them. So I love this deal for the Pittsburgh Penguins. For the Wings, Soderblom wasn't getting a ton of time at the NHL level, so moving him wasn't terrible. They got a 3rd-round pick back in return. They could use that as trade fodder and things like that. So very interesting note there, but I do like this deal from the Penguin side more than the Red Wings side, because I do think that Soderblom has a really solid future ahead of him. But still, like a 3rd-round pick for Soderblom, who was more of a fourth line forward this year, it's not a terrible pickup here for Detroit. So very interesting note there. I do think that the Penguins win this deal, but Soderblom is headed to the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for the San Jose Sharks 2026 third round pick. And then we also saw AHL player swap between the Chicago Blackhawks and the New York Rangers, as veteran defenseman Derek Pouliot was dealt to the Chicago Blackhawks by New York, and in exchange, the Rangers got young prospect Thompson. So Pouliot has been a journeyman NHL defenseman, hasn't played the NHL level in a couple of years. This entire season he's played at the AHL level. He's in the first of a 2-year deal with a league minimum AAV. He's 32 years old now. He had 2 goals and 28 points in 52 games, but after the loss of Connor Murphy, the Hawks needed some more veteran presence on their team. So I expect Pouliot to maybe be like a 6-7 defenseman for the Chicago Blackhawks, sort of round out that defensive core, maybe get into a game or two, and sort of provide some veteran experience for what is now an extremely young blue line in Chicago. So once again, it's not a terrible pickup here for the Hawks. I do think they make out worse in this deal, but adding a veteran for at least the rest of the regular season is not a bad pickup here for Chicago. Meanwhile, for the Rangers, they get Thompson. He's in the first year of his deal as well, a 2-year deal with the AAV of $895,000. He's a center/left winger. He was a third-round pick back in the 2022 draft. So far has 6 goals and 15 points in 40 AHL games. I still feel like Thompson, if he continues his trajectory, could eventually be like a call-up option, spare forward, maybe even a guy who can consistently play on the fourth line. So it's not a bad pickup here for the Rangers, especially given the fact they only had to give up Pouliot. So I do think the Rangers win this deal because I do think Thompson has a brighter future than Pouliot. But once again, Thompson's already 24 years old, so we shall wait and see if he does ever amount to anything. But I think he could still be a decent bottom six forward for the Rangers. So very interesting note there. But those are all the trades we're going to talk about here in this video. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts. Did the Rangers or Hawks win the Thompson deal? Did the Red Wings or Penguins win the Soderblom deal? Did the Kings or Bolts win the Perry deal? Or were they win-win deals? Love to hear your guys' thoughts on all of them down in the comment section below. That's all I'm going to talk about for today. If you haven't already, leave a subscribe down below. We're trying to hit 650 subscribers in the next couple of weeks. So if you can, leave a subscribe. It really does help with the channel. And on top of that, if you haven't already, check out my live video under the live tab on my YouTube channel. I think you guys will really like it. So that's all I'm going to talk about in this video. Remember to stay tuned for more videos coming out in the very near future, as I will have more trade update videos coming out later today and potentially tomorrow. So stay tuned for those ones. God bless y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.